Hello gaming fans, this is Bobby with Day After Day Gaming, here to restart the stream because for some reason it was coming up incorrectly on the list here. Not sure if I hit a word limit or letter limit or what, but we're going to restart here. I'll delete that other one later, but let's see if it's coming up properly now. It's still not coming up properly. No, that's the old one. La-di-da-di-da-di-da. We'll get this stream straightened out here in a minute. Alright, hopefully, if everything comes up right, we'll go ahead and get started here. Essentially, this is our new segment we're starting. Right now it's called Dad Gaming Startups. It is for an beginner intro to Conan Exiles. So essentially we are starting a new game in Conan, and we'll be doing an introduction of how to kind of get started in the game, easy ways to start with the beginning equipment, show crafting off. If we have time, we'll do the thralls, kind of show where you can get some of the basic ores you need in the beginning of the game. And just really how to survive, how to get food, how to eat stuff, what to cook, and such like that. Suggestions for learning abilities and skills. I mean, it's really up to the player, but there's a lot of stuff in Conan that's not really straightforward. So the idea is that we're going to show all that information, hopefully, and go from there. So bear with me while I'm trying to make sure the stream's working right. So far, it does not appear like it wants to work properly. What a surprise. But anyway, come watch, join with us, chat away with us as we kind of start a new game from scratch, and hopefully everything will go well. And if not, that makes the stream more interesting, right? So bear with me while I try to figure out these difficulties we're having. Alright, I think we're actually working now. It looks like the stream is working as intended. For some reason it came up saying it was Gloomhaven and had all the old stuff in there last time I streamed Gloomhaven, which made no sense. So that was probably last night's stream, actually. Alright, so back to here. So redoing our new intro. Welcome to Day After Day Gaming Startups, featuring today's game of choice, Conan Exiles. So our new segment is focusing on tutorials and how to get started in some of the games that may not exactly tell you what to do and how to do it. For those of you who want to learn on your own how to do it, this stream is not going to be for you. For anybody else who maybe played the game initially when it first launched, maybe it wasn't that fun or you didn't really like it, this might be a good stream for you to watch. We'll show off some of the new, well, not necessarily new stuff, but at least kind of how to get started. You'll get an idea of how long it takes to craft stuff, what you need to build things, so on and so forth. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and start up a game. I already made a character, and just save some time, we're just going to jump right in. I played on the easiest difficulty right now, which was Civilized. That's just for the stream, because you have things like No Purge, which is where a bunch of enemies will come and try to destroy your base every so often. If anybody's familiar with 7 Days to Die, it's kind of like that, where you have zombies come and try to kill you every 7 days. That's why it's 7 Days to Die. And then you don't drop items when you die. Enemies are a little bit easier. They don't do as much damage to you, and you do more to them. You gain experience faster. I'm leaving somebody else out. That's okay. We're going to jump right in, continue with the character I just made, and wait for it to load here. So, for anybody not familiar with the game, you do have different biome areas. So whenever you create your character and start, in Conan Exiles, you always start in the desert. Okay? You see birds flying over us, they want to eat us and kill us, but we're not going to worry about that. So there are some essential things you need in the game. This one does require you to eat and drink. And first thing you can do if you want is you can walk up to this wall and, hey, look, you can interact. And that gives you a journey. So every time you complete journeys, you get experience. Okay? So that's the bar that's above the red health bar in the top left corner. Also, many people, I've seen streamers of people just running right by this when they first play it because they don't notice it. There is a water skin for holding water, as well as a note. Now, you don't necessarily need all this stuff. You can make water skins once you start getting some leather, but it's free. It certainly doesn't hurt having it. And then you can, put it on your belt if you want. And I think it even comes with three doses of water in it. Yeah. So you get a little bit of water in there, so if it takes you a long time to get out of the desert, which it shouldn't, it's pretty much just a straight run, but if it does, at least you have a little bit of water. Next up, if you walk up to these bush-like plants, you can actually farm plant fiber, seeds, and sometimes insects. See if we can get an insect to come up. We'll find one. Oh, you can also look in these skeletons, but they're always empty, so ignore them. Oh, and punching them does not work. However, if you had a weapon, like an axe, you can cut them down. I don't believe they give you as much fire. Oh, there we go. A handful of insects. Hopefully you saw that. Try to get another one. Well, your first objective, though, is really just to run up to these bushes on the left here, and just to E on a bunch of them. You're going to need plant fiber. Oh, there's a worker bee. That's for getting honey later. So let's get a bunch of plant fiber. How much do we have? 30. That should be enough to get started. So the other thing we want to do is to make some armor. So when you hit I for inventory, you go into your menu here. You will see there are things like recipes here called coarse foot wraps. So you want to go ahead and make yourself some coarse foot wraps, some coarse hand wraps, some leggings, as well as a tunic. Those are kind of like your first recipes you start with. You might see some other stuff here. I do have the expansions, so there are recipes for things here, but I don't have any of the parts for this yet because we just started. So I'm just going to ignore those for now. Other things you probably want to make is some twine. It takes 3 plant fibers. We got 15. Let's make a couple. Because we do want to make a fiber bedroll. We're going to need 2 sticks as well. We got our 3 twine. So let's get some more plant fiber. Yeah, the other reason why you want to collect a lot of the plant fiber, handful of insects are definitely your friend early on. They are, you can eat those, you cannot eat the worker bees. Well, you can, but I think they hurt you. I don't know if they give you much health either. But the handful of insects will fill up your food by like 1% when you eat them. So the more you have, easier it'll be to stay alive until we get to where we can cook some of the other foods. The other thing you're going to want to pick up, these little rocks everywhere. Pick up a bunch of rocks. Because you're going to need some rocks to make stuff. And we're just going to keep running a little further up here. You also now see that we got past a couple areas here, right? And now we can see these other things on the ground. They are sticks, branches. Definitely want some of those. So we're going to pick up some of those and keep picking up some rocks. Yada, 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 and so on and so forth. So much fun. Pick up some more sticks. Oh, I hit a skeleton by accident. Ignore that for now. Alright. I think we have enough for some stuff, don't we? So other things you want to start building when you can. Stone hatchet. Oh, we need more branches. Didn't get enough yet. They're a bunch up here. Alright, now we got some more. So let's build a stone hatchet. Do we get a pickaxe yet? No. Short 1 branch, of course. That's okay, we can survive right now with the axe. Don't worry, you don't have to do much fighting yet, even though you see this scary thing up ahead. Oh, there's some more wood. Let's grab those. Oh, you can climb up something and get something too. Get one of your legacy or journeys done.
We were forced to take refuge before the wind scoured the skin from our faces. There is something in the storm. Beasts. We hear the skittering of their paws outside the ruins, and their howls mingled with the screaming winds. The men are scared. I've put them to work crafting rudimentary weapons and torches from the loose stones and rough plants that dot this place. I've yet to meet a beast that liked fire, or the bite of the axe.
Alright. Should have enough now for a pickaxe. So, you do get things in here you can read, like the notes and the books and things. I mean, you're welcome to read them. They don't really do much for you in the long run. Whoops. You will see there's still things up in the corner like drink and eat. So, I did a kickback, so I'm hitting, I think, shift on the computer. So, there is, let's see where here it is, journeys. There are a lot of things you do at the very beginning of the game just to get experience and level. You don't need to necessarily do them in any order, and you can even do some of these later ones if they don't pop up saying you can do them yet. So for right now, we have to drink and eat, and use a bedroll, slay, and dodge. Dodge is spacebar? No, that's jump. Wrong button. Control? That's kick. That's what kick was control. Left alt, that's what it is, left alt. Couldn't remember the dodge button for a second. Then what we want to do is drink and eat, so we'll just eat some insect. Oh, we already got them on. We'll just use one of those, and we'll go ahead and use up some of our water in our skin. That gets a couple more journeys done, it gets us more experience. So the other thing that's not intuitive in the game, at the very, very beginning, is leveling. So you saw, I think we already got 2 levels, at least, in the game. Oh, and I was saying earlier you can chop things down. So if you chop like the bushes down, you'll see you get handful of insects but no fiber, or plants fibers. So this can be useful if you don't need plant fiber at the moment, or maybe you're just looking for food. You can try to chop them down and see what you get, but as you saw, it's not 100%, so it's kind of use at your own risk. Because you don't necessarily want to destroy all the plant fibers, you might need some more, right? So use it for a lot of things. You make twine, and that's used for tying a bunch of stuff together, like weapons. So, the other thing I was saying was not intuitive, is leveling. So we're level 5 already. Level fast. You can put points into all of this stuff. Whenever you reach a tier, which is every 10 clicks, essentially, you unlock a special ability. So it tells you what they are, over here. So, like its strength, for example. Let's stop moving. You can get Thuggery, Salting the Wound, Slice the Dice, Brutal Strikes, Blood Mad Berserker. So in the beginning of the game, it is important for picking what you feel most comfortable with. And the reason I say that is, there are ways to respec in the game, but they're much later in the game. So you might want to go into trees you think you're going to have more use with. So, beginning of the game, for example, strength is pretty good because of doing more damage. Melee, you're going to use a lot more melee, I feel, than you will with bows. Unless you really, really like bows, then feel free to use agility. Or, sorry, accuracy. Agility is running and endurance. Vitality is health. Accuracy is ranged attacks. Grit is stamina pool. So, agility, I was wrong, it's not stamina. It reduces stamina by sprinting, but it's measure ability to move when wearing different clothing types, direct effect on armor. So you get more armor with more agility, I believe, if I remember correctly. And grit was stamina. Encumbrance is how much you can carry. That one I find very important early game because you need so much of like stone and wood to make structures. It takes forever. So feel free to experiment as you like. And then survival is essentially how easily you metabolize food. So you can live longer based on water and such like that. Oh, I didn't show the other menu. I want to show feats. So feats are your skills. Not skills. They're recipes, I guess you could say. What's not intuitive that I missed the first time I ever played the game was I'm like, oh, there's all kinds of stuff I can learn here, so let me just learn this stuff here. Well, you're not limited to stuff just on this page. Each of these tabs is actually other building things that you can do. So this is like the cornerstones. This is like the stuff you need to start with. But after you get some of these skills, you can definitely branch out into more like construction skills. You'll see the mason was on the first page right here. But this is all the building stuff you can get in the game. You won't see it all on the cornerstone page. And I do have some of this unlocked because I have the expansions, so you may not see all this. If you don't see it, just ignore it. It's because I spent extra money and got more stuff. Sorry. Same thing here. This is decorations for your house. So torches are pretty important for lighting up your area when it gets dark. You know, no electricity in this game. Everything's torches. And a bunch of different furniture if you want to outfit your house with furniture. It's not necessarily 100% needed. It's more of a, if you want it to look cool, get this stuff. But you do have a limited number of feats. Well, not limited, but you'll level up and get them as you play, and then you'll unlock more as you play. But it will take you a long time to unlock everything. So I would definitely not splurge on all this stuff unless you really, really want something in there. Okay? Survival. So you do have things like beds and torches. Now, beds are very important. A lot of people don't know about beds in the game, especially at the beginning. So when you put down a bedroll like you do in most of the other games that are like survival games, that is your respawn point if you die. Great. Makes sense. It's easy. What a lot of people don't know is in this game there's also a bed. You can have 2 spawn points, which means 2 houses, essentially, that you can kind of teleport back and forth to if you die. So it can be useful early on to build like one house near your start location. Not the desert. I'll show you where I'm going. But to build something nice, not nice, but at least to get started. And then build one further off, maybe where there are resources that you want or something else. And then eventually you want to find a nice location that you like and that you feel comfortable with and build a base there. So, maybe you're going to have a resource gathering base for iron. You could build a base there, throw down a bedroll, and maybe you're going to make a big base up in the middle of the mountains somewhere, right? For safety and stay away from monsters. That's great. You could build a bed there, and that way you get a bed and a bedroll to teleport between. So, like, if you need iron, you can essentially jump off the cliff, die, spawn at the other place, mine a bunch of stuff, get your iron, build the tools you need, and you can always go work and get back to the other spot. So, it's good things to know. So it's already getting dark because I kind of wasted time showing off things, but that's okay. Other things to keep in mind here. You will see things like fire camps right over here with like bonfires. Those are generally enemies. If you're ready to fight them, go for it. I'm not going to try to stop you. But keep in mind that it's not straightforward. It might take a little bit of practice, so be wary. I would definitely say if you have the ability to, try to build a house first, or at least someplace to live. At least build a bedroll and some walls if you can. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. And also want to go ahead and unlock a feat for just starting to get some of the basic weapons here. That's going to give me a stone and a club. For weapons, I would say choose whatever you like more. I tend to use more weapons that are bladed, but if you think you want to experiment with the other types of weapons, feel free. The spear I actually kind of like too. That was pretty fun. And then we need torch. So I did like the spear. 6. Alright. But again, experiment as you will. You'll get 2-handed swords later. Those actually do a lot of damage, and they do some nice sweeping attacks. You have a few other types. What else do you have? Clubs. I think there's like 2-handed warhammer. But, as you unlock them, you'll see other options. Oh, there's two one-handed daggers for fast attacks, and so on and so forth. So right now, again, I'm in the early part of the game, so I'm not doing too much other than collecting stuff and trying to survive, so. It'll be more exciting soon, but beginning of the game is kind of slow. once I get a few pieces of armor and some other stuff, we can actually go start fighting a bunch of people, and if we get a chance, I can show you the first dungeon, but I don't know if we'll have enough time for that in our first intro. So, again, I'm hoping this is going to be multiple parts. This is kind of part 1, just showing the beginning of how to get started surviving. And then maybe I could do some other ones where I show off some of the more advanced stuff, like thralls. It's not really straightforward of how you do that in the beginning of the game, so I want to show that off. And then, if we get time, we'll try to show some of the other features. But right now, we're just going to build a house, show how to do some of the cooking and early survival stuff like water and all that kind of stuff. And then see where we land. So you need lots of stone. Usually I've already collected, I think it was 300. We're also going to need some wood. Oh, and on our character screen, I didn't explain what all the icons and things are. So the top left corner, you have your experience bar at the very top. It's like this kind of whitish, yellowish bar at the very top there. You also have the health bar below that in red, as well as a yellow bar, which is your stamina. So as you swing weapons, I should probably equip my weapon. Did I get? Oh, I didn't get it yet. I needed more twine. Let's get some more twine then. That should be enough. Get our first. Oh, I was one short. I miscounted. Get our stone sword here. Alright. So we have a dedicated weapon now, which is right here. It can be used for a lot of stuff. So what I would generally recommend for first-time players, of course, you know, again, this is up to you. This is what I've done in the past, and it seemed to work for me. Or for showing other people how to play, this is kind of how I start. So I figure that it's a decent place to kind of go with. So what I generally do is once you kind of move north from your starting location, you'll see this black bridge. What I like to do is actually start here. So the idea is I'm going to build a house kind of right at the edge of this water. It serves two purposes. One, there's several humanoid groups around that you can use for thralls later, which, again, we'll go over. There is also a special guy over here to fight, but I'm nowhere near being able to fight him yet. There are also some of the turtle guys, I forget what they're called at the moment, that you can fight and get some meat out of, which are pretty useful. And there's lots of trees and rocks here, so it makes for a pretty good starting location. And it's also bright enough now to where I don't have to worry about the light. So, we're going to use our wood. I probably don't have enough wood and stone yet, but we need to buy the first mason skill. Alright, now that we unlock the mason skill, we can now you see a bunch of house stuff locked in here, right? So what you generally want to do is start with the foundation. So to make this easy, we're just going to build a simple house maybe with 4 squares, 2 by 2 right now. So they popped in on my bar. If you don't have that, you just have to move it onto your bar at the bottom. And then what I generally like to do is I kind of like to build it on the edge a little bit. Right about there looks good. Hello. So, by the way, these starting monsters that are around here, the green ones are actually non-combative unless you attack them. The ones that are more red in color are combative, so they will definitely fight you. But I'm going to go ahead and try to kill them. Actually, I probably should put down my bedroll first. Let's do that. So we're going to put down a bedroll. If I click the right button, it would help. Alright, so now we have used a better bedroll, so now we have a spawn point in case we die. So now let's try to kill this guy, see if we have enough oomph to kill him. We should. Alright, killed him. Alright, and you can also use the axe or the mining pick here to actually farm these corpses. You will eventually get skinning knives, which are better. They give you more. But in the meantime, until you get that, just use whatever you got. So worst case, we use that. We got a head. That gives us a journey step completed. So a head from a monster can be mounted. You can build it and mount it onto your walls just for looks. I had towers that I built that just had heads surrounding them going up in the past, because you'll get a lot of heads as you play. And they're pretty heavy, so it's better to dump them, build them as soon as you get the ability to do so. You need some shape wood or some other stuff to build them generally, so it's not something you do right at the beginning of the game. Alright, so let's get some more wood here. We need some other things we need to make. Oh, I never did finish the explanation of the icons. I apologize. So next, below the stamina in the very top left corner looks like a teardrop, or water droplet. That is your water. So generally when you're green, you're good. You don't have to worry about things. But when you start getting into yellow, you're running out. And when you get to red, you are dying of thirst, essentially. You just start blinking, and then you also start taking health points of damage if you don't drink. The next one over looks like meat is food. Same thing. You got to eat food to stay alive. The one next to that looks like a weight is your encumbrance. So the more you carry, the more that goes up. So it starts low at green and then actually goes up to red. So I'm getting pretty full right now. And the one next to that, the white line, is actually the current temperature. So right now we're at a comfortable temperature. But as you get colder or warmer, the bar will shift and show like when you get colder, you're going to have to wear more clothing or you will freeze eventually. And then when you get too hot, you'll also start losing water faster and become thirstier quicker. So pretty straightforward. The system works pretty well for the most part. So I'm pretty happy with it. Alright, next up, let's build a doorway. Let's build a couple frames with windows. And then we'll build a couple walls. Oh, then we need a door. Door! Oh, we need some twine. That should make 10. Alright, so we're just going to start with something simple and put a door here. Oh, you'll also see the word outer face. So what you know, or what you can do is you can actually switch the direction of some of these objects. So if I did not want the outer face there and wanted it pointing inward for some reason, I could do that, but you know, whatever way the words are is the way you're putting the object down. So that's the outer face, and on the inside, you'll see kind of like a wooden structure. It really just looks, I wouldn't put too much worry into it. But that's how it works. So I didn't have to create all the walls you have to make a home. Just have to create a certain amount of structure. Other things you need to worry about that I did not explain in the very beginning of the game is, unless you're a certain height off the ground, you actually have to worry about sandstorms. Sandstorms will essentially kill you if you're out in the open. There are a couple hints you can kind of do, like sometimes hiding in corners. Not this one, because you'd have a little house symbol below where the soothing is right now. But sometimes hiding like up next to walls, maybe the mountains, may protect you from sandstorms. Later on, you'll get masks that you can use to wear while walking around, which actually filter out the sand for you, so you don't have that problem. But if you're caught out in sandstorm and not in safety, you will eventually die. So just keep that in mind if you're playing. We might be able to see one, so if we do, I'll try to point it out when we do. But the sky, you'll see like sand moving kind of on the screen, and it should say a sandstorm is coming. You have a little bit of time, so it's not like it's immediate. But if you can find a cave, there are caves all over the world, or other structures, there's some structures that are built, you might be able to hide to get into those to avoid the sandstorm. Or again, like I said, if you get up to a certain height, you avoid it entirely. So there's a place I like to make a base that's kind of towards the middle of the map. Kind of more up north, I guess. But it's high enough to where I don't get hit with sandstorms. And it's a pretty good area once I build a flat area. It takes a lot of resources, but I like that area. And I'll show that to you maybe in one of the streams if we have time. Probably not this stream, because it'll be a while before I get there, as we're showing off a bunch of the other stuff in the game. Oh, other stuff to keep in mind. At one point, you'll see an object that you need called bark. Well, you won't ever see it fall off a tree unless you use a mining pick. Like this. There we go, we just got a bark. That's one of the journeys you need. Yeah, it took me forever till I learned how to do that. Because normally, you get an axe, right? You just chop down the axe. No. Or chop down the tree with the axe. No, if you want bark, you need to mining pick a tree. Okay. So the other thing we want in here is a storage chest. I might not have gotten that feat yet, actually. I did not. So we're going to make boxes and primitive cooks. And I've left 18 points. Got lots of points left. Let's go ahead and start doing armorer, archer, shield, let's start with that for now. Now we need to build a few more things. Let's go ahead and put a roof on the house, which are these sandstone ceilings. They're pretty expensive. They need 21 stone and 3 wood, so we need 4. Now, I could build stairs in here if I wanted to, and build like a multi-level structure. You can build huge, encompassing castles, essentially. Not something I can do right now, just because the time it would take me to gather resources would be hours or days. So we're not worried too much about that. We're just going to, like I said, we're building a simple house right now. And hopefully later we can build a structure that's a little bigger. But as this is just kind of our starting house, we're not going to stay here forever. Just long enough to get some stuff started. And then eventually we'll move on. Alright. So the other thing that's important to start with early is a wooden box. So we'll need a bunch more twine. Any left over? Yeah, 10 should be enough. And then we might need more wood. Yep, we're going to need more wood. So let's go kill some trees. Chopping down some trees, chopping down some trees. Look at me, I'm chopping down some trees. What is it, 200? I always forget the recipe amounts. Oh, it's only 100, I can make that now. Never mind. Alright, so now we're going to have a wooden box. We'll just put that right here for now. And the wooden box is going to be stored or used to store all the stuff I don't want. So shift and a left click will essentially drop stuff directly over without you worrying about it. So I would recommend doing that in the beginning. And get rid of stuff you may not need. If you don't know what it's for, probably a good bet in the beginning that you don't need all of it. Oh, food. I should show you that too, actually. If you look at food, you will see these expires in. So food in the game actually rots. Even bugs will rot. So if you're in the game for that amount of time, your food spoils and becomes this spoiled-looking mass of meat. When that happens, you can still use it, so it's not something you necessarily want to throw away. You actually use it for fertilizer, or making fertilizer, for crops. So we'll try to get into that a little bit later as well, into how to do some farming for staying alive. But all we have to worry about now is drinking, because we can drink water, and if you put on your wineskin, or if you put on your bar at least, and you hit your button, you'll see it filled up my wineskin at number 8. So now I'm full on water. Not food, only water. So next thing we need to do is actually worry about food, right? We've got to stay alive, we've got to eat. So we need to do a campfire. Oh, I put away all my stone, didn't I? We got it though. Let's take that back over for a minute. So we need a campfire. We'll put it right there. So, campfire. Generally, you need to put wood into your campfire. And I put all my wood away. Let's get all that out. Yeah, we'll just drop all 31. Oops. Gotta put it up here. In the top. There. Just like that. So you can put things on here like meat, like savory flesh, and then if we hit this play button here, it will actually start doing something. In this case, it cooks the meat for us. So now we have grilled steak. Now if we use the grilled steak, we actually eat that and we get a filling meal. So we got one of those from killing the big, like, turtle guys. So the objective now for us is, I would not worry about amassing the meat at the moment, just because no matter what you do, it's going to spoil at the moment. Later in the game, once you start getting into the ice areas, you can build essentially build refrigerators that stop meat from spoiling. But that'll be a long way off, so don't worry about trying to get it right now. It won't be easy. Let's start with a couple of the beginning things. So, you'll see more of these little turtle guys. We are going to kill them. Yes, I know. It might be mean. Sorry. Other things you can do. You can collect eggs. Oh, got one attacking us. And we got him. Alright, let's harvest that corpse. Oh, I should have mentioned that as well. When you're attacking, some weapons have a left click for like quick attacks and then a right click for heavy attack. I actually did that at the very end. I did a big attack to finish the guy off, and that also ended an achievement for me. I've restarted this game lots of times, playing with lots of different people who didn't know how to play the game, so do it quite a bit. Okay. Yeah, you'll see me picking up other stuff here. They're aloe leaves. Those will be used for bandages, for healing. But don't really need to worry about it right now. I'm just picking some up because they're here. Now, if you do decide to use this place to start at, if you walk down the beach, I guess this is north. I think it's north. I didn't show the map off. I should show the map. It's not quite north, it's west. You will see this lone little soldier over there. Be careful, they're a high-level warrior. Great later when you want thralls to walk around with you, but if you fight them now, you will die. I will die, so I'm not going to fight him right now. Screw that guy. Ooh, also, I should have mentioned this earlier. There's so many things that I don't think about until I play. So right now, I just broke my weapon. Below the weapons on the bar and equipment, you'll see these white lines. The white lines are basically the durability of the weapon or equipment. So as you use them, they break. So swords, axes, pickaxes, they will all eventually break. Once they do, if you have the parts on you to rebuild them, like branches, stone, or later on with iron tools, steel tools, yada yada yada, once you get them, you can just hit the same button, like 2 in this case, and that will automatically repair it for you. Alternatively, you can go to your inventory, click on the item, and there's a repair button you can also use. So I would definitely say keep that in mind, because if you don't, oh crap, I made the fighter mad. That's that high level fighter I was telling you about. Oh crap, well, we're gonna try to kill her. Oh, I can probably kill her. Stop it! Stop it! Come on, give me one hit. That's all I need. Aha, got her. Alright, you'll also see enemies that you kill humanoids do have loot. So you'll see, I got all kinds of stuff from here. We're just going to hit F to loot all of it. And we are hurting pretty good, so let's hide in here for a minute. Oh crap, there's somebody else here. Of course there is. Loot a few insects here, that'll help a little bit. If I'm very, very quiet, they won't know I'm here. Alright. So please excuse me for one moment. I'm going to take a quick bio break, hide in my house here for just a minute while I'm healing up a little bit, and we'll be right back with you, so stay tuned. We will continue this in about 5 minutes. Watch your pretty guy bounce and dance as you wait. Alright. We are back. Apologize for the quick break. Okay. So let's see, now it's still bright outside. We might as well do a few more things here. Oh, that little house symbol, the shelter. That's how you know if you're protected from sandstorm or not, if you see the shelter. Okay, so next steps for us. At this moment, we're kind of able to do whatever we want to. So let's go and get a shield. Oh, we need some twine. That's why I was saying you're going to go through a lot of twine, so good to have some extra if you can. Thought I built a shield, but I don't see one. We can fix that by building another one. There we go. Alright, off Siri the Mad. I killed that one warrior. I didn't think I was going to be able to kill her. She did drop some nice armor. Now, if you want to wear it, it is up to you. I am because it's nice right now. However, keep in mind two things. One is that... Can't dismantle yet. Oops. If you wear it, you do not, in the beginning of the game, have a way to repair it. So I would not toss out your core stuff. Well, I mean, I guess you can. It's not really going to affect much. Oh, and you can harvest humanoid bodies. I should have mentioned that as well. They do give you human flesh, which you'll see right here. So basically be a cannibal. You can cook it and eat it, though. You don't really get a negative if you do that. So feel free to do it if you want. I'm not saying you can't. Just keep that in mind. Oh, here's another corpse we can harvest. I bet Syria killed that one. Or one of the other warriors did around. So one thing I don't like in the game, I wish they had a way to group items together in terms of the sword and shield. Like if I want to equip a sword and shield, I have to equip the sword and the shield as two separate hotkeys. It'd be nice if they had a way to just say, oh, with one click I can equip both. But they're not quite there yet, or they haven't ever done that. It'd be nice if they could figure out a way to do it, though. So we're going to head over here. The other reason I like this area is there are a couple camps close by. They can help you for getting some early equipment and some other stuff. So right now we're going to attack these two guys. Hopefully we can kill them. There we go. Sometimes it's the third guy, so you want to look around, but I think we're clear, so. Alright, let's loot them. We got junk. Well, not junk. Just going to hit F to loot all. We're going to chop them up. Now, what I'm actually looking for here is the hide, not necessarily like the human flesh or anything. I mean, if you want to be a cannibal, go for it. It's your choice, not mine. But no, I'm essentially doing it for the hide, because that will turn into leather, which we can use for a bunch of recipes later, so. There's some more eggs here, too. Alright. Chop these guys up real quick. Oh, you'll see they're dropping a different type of flesh. The big ones drop savory meat or flesh. These drop feral flesh. So there are different types of meat. It is a quality thing. So the bigger guys drop better meat. And there are meats above that as well. Oh, there's a big guy. Let's go kill him. Alright, I just did that because it was a journey. And see, we can use the mining pick just to show that off. That does work as well. You don't have to just use the axe. I just think the axe makes more sense. Alright, it's starting to get dark. So we probably should start heading back to the camp soon. You can certainly be out here in the dark. I do have the torch, so you can still kind of fight and stuff. You know, it's more of a personal preference of what you want to do. I think we'll try to kill this camp off and then we'll head back. Charge! Oh, you'll also see the names above their heads. So it actually gives their race along with what they are. So below this guy, for example, is a fighter. The other one was a carpenter. There is a purpose for that. Whoops, wrong button. The primary purpose is it's used for thralls later, so I could probably explain thralls right now. Something around here wants to attack me normally, that's what that music means. You know what? I don't see anything. We're just head back to our camp now. Oh, he knocked it down. Alright. Grab those eggs. Why not? Okay, we'll spend this time to do some crafting and some other stuff while we're waiting for it to become daylight again. Maybe spend some points. That's what I generally do in the nighttime. Use the time to level up, you know, go through equipment, combine stuff, delete stuff, whatever. So let's see, what can we do? We will look in here and see what we got. So actually I haven't spent any attributes left yet. So, surprise, surprise. I'm already level 15, already have 30 points that we can put in stuff, so we probably should go ahead and start using things. So let's see here. It's really up to you, as to what you like to do. I normally do strength just because it's damage and melee. So we're going to go ahead and put 10 points into here. That will get us the first ability, which is Thuggery. Every blow you strike with a blunt weapon deals 100% more concussive damage. So that's going to be really useful for us getting thralls later, which we should be able to get into doing soon. Then let's go ahead and get do run around a bunch. So let's go ahead and get some points into agility as well. Oh, that's all our points. Oh, I should have explained. So at the beginning of the game, you get cost of 1 for everything, but as you get more points into it, it starts going up. I believe it's every 5, so like 1 through 5 is 1 point, but then 6 through 10 is 2 points, and then 10 through 15 will be 3 points, and so on and so forth. So it does get more expensive as you level up things. Now for feats. So if I'm going to show you how to do thralls, we're definitely going to need a thrall taker. So let's build one of those. And let's go ahead and do a stone maul. You know, we'll go into a skirmisher too. We'll go and unlock some of the weapon stuff. Yeah, it's iron stuff. We're not going to be there for a while for iron, just because it's going to take a bit to get there. Probably should get torches though. So we'll get beds and torches. We're going to use those. And blacksmith and carpenter. We're going to need that along with the tanner. How many points I got left? 13? Not going to worry too much about that stuff, I think. Oh, I should have explained this as well. I apologize. I'm missing out a bunch of stuff. So as you click, you can click on some of these items and see what the requirements are. So in this case, it requires a primitive cook, which we have. And then we have to reach level 19. When we get to that, we can actually unlock more as you go up. So earlier, for example, I was talking about the preservation box, which is essentially a fridge. Yeah, you gotta be level 43 before you even unlock that. So don't hold your breath. It'll be a while again. Okay, we're going to go and unlock Apprentice Tamer. For that, as you walk around, you may see baby animals. Baby animals are animals you can feed with certain foods that they like, and they will actually grow to become either mules or they will fight with you. So you can take them with you on adventures to do stuff. Same way you can take thralls on adventures. Thralls would be the humanoid versions of that, so. Oh, it's already daytime. That was quick. So things we need to build. We need to start building some of these things. So an armor's bench. Where's the workbench? I feel like I'm missing the workbench. No, that wasn't it. What was that called? Artisan. Oh, that must be what I was thinking of. Was the artisan table. Fine, we'll unlock it. Alright, so. We have things we can build now. We have armorer's bench, an artisan table. I think we're going to start with that. That only takes 40 wood, so that's pretty easy. And because I don't have a house where I can really put that stuff for now, we're going to just build that out here. So why don't we build an artisan table. And for ease, I'm just going to put it next to the house. So, workbenches and things will give you different recipes. So for example, the artisan table over here gives us recipes for all kinds of other items you'll see here. Now, a lot of these you're going to see because, again, I have all the expansions for the game, both Season 1 and Season 2. So there's a lot of stuff I can build in here that I just have to put certain parts in the box for. However, I don't see much in here we need right at the moment. This is mostly furniture. Signposts can be nice. Most of it's just visual stuff. Okay, we got the artisan table out of the way regardless. Next up, let's go for the armor workbench or the blacksmith workbench. Blacksmith bench I think is expensive. Yeah, can't do that one. We need iron bricks and iron bars. Okay. Armor's bench. Okay, this one we can work on. So we need 240 stone, 160 wood, and 20 twine. Any twine left? Yeah, let's use up all the twine. It's fine. Alright, so let's go around chopping down and gathering some stuff so we can make our workbench. Well, and I keep doing it on purpose because, well, not on purpose, but I'm used to doing it. I always click a bunch of times to chop stuff. You don't have to in this game. You can just hold it down to do stuff like mining or chopping down trees. It does save on the fingers a bit, so. Do it if you remember, but there are some games where you have to furiously click, so I'm used to doing those. Let's go and get some rock while we're here. Well, I'm already over encumbered. Nice. So as you can see, because I just got over encumbered, I'm walking really slow. And if I hold down the shift button to run, you'll see my stamina is getting eaten up quick. So early on, I should have gotten some encumbrance, probably. Instead of putting all 10 points in agility. Because I would have been able to carry a lot more and not have to make as many trips out. But I didn't do that, so that was my fault. I was trying to be cool instead. Alright, so let's go ahead and store more of this stuff in here for right now. Oh, we got a severed arm. That's actually a weapon. Okay. It's better. So we need some more trees, I think. So I'm planning on going ahead and building one of everything here. Now, keep in mind for your game, this may be overkill to do what I'm doing. This is primarily just to show what all the different constructions do. So you may not need to worry about what I'm doing again, but I just kind of want to show you what the possibilities are. I guess that's the best way to put it. Alright, so now I think we have enough to build the armorer's workbench. Oh, and I do, like I said before, I do have the recipes for other artisan tables. The one I was building was the base one that everybody sees. I wanted to do that on purpose, though, just so everybody could see the standard items. If you get some of the expansions, though, you can explore with how things look. They'll look very different for you. But just keep in mind, I am showing the normal stuff that everybody should see. So, alright, and here is the armorer's workbench. Close enough. So from here, you can see there are a bunch of armors in here because, again, I have all the expansions. So normally you won't see all this. You'll see, like, where are they? The light lining stuff here. And the medium lining stuff there. And the heavy lining stuff here. There may be a couple other recipes mixed in, but certainly not the amount that you currently are seeing. And don't worry, I can't build half of these, so I'm not even going to bother trying. Okay. Let's see, what does it take to build the thrall? Thrall taker! Oh wait, we need these two. Fiber binding, let's build one of those. And can we build the truncheon? We need leather. I don't have leather yet. We need a leather worker guy. Tannery. Oof. Stone. Wood again. Bark. Okay. Well, we need some bark, so might as well get some. Now, it may take you a little while to get bark. It's not something that drops on every single hit. So as you can see here, I'm getting like maybe one every 2 to 4 hits. So don't be upset if you're not getting it. It takes time. I should also show this. So I hit E on that creature. Of course, I should have paid attention to my weight. So I just picked him up. He's considered a baby. I was saying earlier you can get baby animals and actually grow them up to be big animals, so you can use them for guarding your base, for carrying your stuff, or walking around with you even, and fighting with you. But they can die. So if they die, they'll be dead. Although in theory, they'll just come back. It depends. If you die and they don't die, I don't know. I've seen different things happen. So I'm not going to say anything's necessarily set in stone. Because like sometimes I'll leave a minion behind because I'll die for some reason, then they'll keep fighting until the enemy's dead or until they die, it seems like. Or there seems to also be a timer on some of them, so after a certain amount of time they'll just appear back at the base. So I don't know. I've seen a mixed bag. So I'm not saying don't take them with you, but keep in mind, there's a possibility they will die. Alright, let's get a little bit further here, and then I can show you how the thrall stuff works. The first couple times I played, took me a while to figure out exactly how it works, so definitely something worthy of a tutorial showing off here. Because like I said, they don't really explain much in the game other than give you the journey quest up in the corner there. But that's all they tell you. They don't say how to, scout a Dafari camp. I don't even know what that is, right? Or how to use skinning knife on an animal. That comes up really early in the journeys, but you don't get the only one you can build is an iron one, and it takes a while. You got to get a bunch of iron and other resources. You're not going to get that anytime soon. So it's like, why they put that so early just seems weird. Now, on the other hand, though, you might get a stone skinning knife. You can't make it, or bone skinning knife. I think it's stone. I've sometimes found it off enemies, but that is a found item, not a crafted item. Of course, I normally find one after I've already gotten an iron one now, But, oh well. I guess it could be worse, right? We are still short on bark, I think. Probably stone for that matter, too. Let's go ahead and head back. We'll collate what we got and see how it goes. Let's go ahead and drink some water first, though. Grab some water! Oh, and rockin' trees do just magically respawn. So don't feel bad if you, chop down an entire forest over here. Wait a few days, it'll be back. Same with the rocks. That's how close we are. I think we need 36 bark, was it? 38 bark. We don't have enough of that yet. Okay. Totally forgot to drop off that stuff. Okay. That warrior's attacking the beast. We should go help. Oh no, I ran out of stamina. Rolled too much. So yeah, one thing you gotta be careful with is if you use too much stamina, you will run out of the yellow bar. In that case, you will be not stunned, but you'll be slow for a couple of seconds. So just watch out for that. Yeah, it'll probably take some practice to fight these guys and not die a lot. Again, that's just gonna take practice. Once you get to the point, like, I mean, I've been playing for a while, right? So that boss, well, not really boss, but that named fighter is good in the beginning for farming for equipment, because they wear different armors. There's like 4 different warriors that'll show up here. A couple of them are harder than others, though. So, oh crap, crocodile. Alright, got him too. Yeah, Crocky. Crocky! He's got a crocodile head. Alright, let's head on back. I don't know if we have enough. Did I get enough bark? I don't know. Try to get another one and tell. 12, yeah, we got enough. I think we had 30, we need 38. Pretty sure we're good. Gonna need another box. Actually, wait, we can just dump these. So there's a way to dismantle equipment, but you won't have it right at the beginning of the game. So don't be worried trying to, grab it all and dismantle it. Worst case, if you have to drop something, drop it. You can, though, if you wanted to, store things on crafting benches. So like this artisan table, look at all that. That's actually space. You can just straight up store stuff in there if you want. So that's a nice trick in the beginning of the game. Store things in here, and that way you are getting some free storage. Also, plant fiber and seeds. That can be used to make something. I thought. You know what? You know what? Wrong recipe. Hold on. I need more seeds. Unless it's plant fibers we need more of. I think it's just seeds. Still not making anything. Maybe some more plant fiber. Anyway, we'll get back to that in a second. Let's go make our bench. Actually, our tanning bench. That's what we're making, right? Yep. Tannery. Tannery. Fine, right there looks good. Now we're going to put bark in there. That's what you use to create stuff with hide. So we're going to take our hide. And what that allows us to do is we turn hide into leather. There we go. Okay, what's the next thing we want to make? So we're making leather now. We really need to make a thrall, lesser wheel of pain. So we need more stone. Oh, we need iron bars for that, though. Crap. Forgot we need iron bars. Okay. Can make a furnace, but... I could show you where the iron is. Or I should say where a lot of iron is. The problem is it's not close. And it's already getting dark, so probably not worth trying to do it today. Oh, there's some future meat. Something went bad. There we go. That's what I was trying to make. Gruel. Only stays good for 84 hours. Might be in some trouble if it runs out soon. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. I'll go ahead and gather some stone before we head back. So I should start making torches so I can show you how that works. Because that will allow you to do some nighttime stuff. Or at least not be so worried about pitch black darkness. So I'll tell you what, we'll go ahead and start. I'll show you that. Okay. So, in your recipes, you'll see these two torches. You'll see an improvised torch, which uses branches and plant fiber. You'll also see a recipe for a regular torch that requires wood and plant fibers. So those torches last quite a bit longer. The improvised torches only last a few minutes. So what's mine at right now? 6 minutes, 19 seconds. Let me show you the difference here. So regular torch, let's go ahead and craft... 3 sounds good for now. And also want to show you this other recipe here called a standing torch. So I got that one about the torch recipe. We're going to go ahead and craft 2 of those. So that torch lasted 6 minutes, 19 seconds. This one, an hour. I can repair this one. It goes up to 10 minutes, I think, on max. But yeah, the hour-long torch is much, much nicer for you overall. Yeah, 10 minutes. So we're going to drop that because I don't really need it right now. And then let's put all our crap back in here so we're not over-encumbered. Let me show you what this standing torches do. So, the easiest way to get light early in the game is to build a regular torch and then a standing torch. I'm not going to say it's the best for light. It's not. But here's what you get. So this is the darkness we're currently at. I placed one right here next to the door. Bam! It provides a good amount of light for right now. And it's pretty cheap to build, which I like. So definitely worthwhile building at least one of these in front of your house so you can kind of see what you're doing. I would also recommend, if you're going on a path that you use a lot, throw down a couple extra torches. Because then you can actually do stuff like, I can go out here now and mine at night without having to be worried about, you know, monsters coming to get me. I can see them now from far away. And let's go ahead and do this till we get a forge. That way we can start working on iron soon. Oh, and standing torches do not, as far as I'm aware at least, ever run out of light. So they will burn forever. It's not like you have to go in and refill them or refuel them or anything. They'll just keep burning. Any light source will just keep staying that brightness. There are more light sources further out in the game as you start unlocking more stuff. There's a blue light source by using a certain plant that you can get. There's a white light source for the same way. I would say experiment once you start unlocking more just to see what you like. But for early on in the game, those are definitely good. And if you have a place maybe you're going back and forth to a lot, they're not really expensive to build. I mean, all you need, which is the other reason why I love them, torches. You need wood and 5 plant fiber. And I mean, just out in this field alone, plant fiber is everywhere. Let's get some more wood here and we'll make a few more torches. And we'll throw out a couple more standing things. Yeah, I mean, you could essentially build hundreds of torches and light up like a whole path through, well, basically anywhere. As long as you're allowed to build something there. So you may not be able to build it in certain zones, like caves and things might be blocked. You just have to experiment and see what you can do. Oh, and you can hold the E button if you don't like where you put something to sometimes modify it. There we go. I wasn't pointing the torch. So I could like dismantle it, I could return to inventory, I can cancel it, or I can interact with it. So interact actually does turn it off. I forgot you could interact with them. But since they don't burn out, I don't see a reason to worry about that. Just leave it burning. So again, all we need to do to build these nice standing torches is build some torches. So we're going to build, I don't know, 5? Oh, I don't have any branches on me. We can take care of that, though, can't we? Sorry, I got kicked out of Steam for a second. Hopefully the stream's still good. Yeah, it says we're still hooked up. Don't know why the friends thing in Steam just dropped. That's okay. Don't really need it. Dang it, I don't care about Steam right now. Okay, there we go. So let's expand our little cluster here a little bit. Let's build another torch maybe over here. Maybe we'll build one out here too. Let's throw one a little further out this way. And why not over here? Not aligned with the ground. We had to angle that one slightly. Now I might have spread them out a little bit too much, but you'll get the idea. When it gets dark now, we'll have this little kind of bloom area that we can see things from farther away. And did I use all the torches? I did, so that was perfect. So very, very versatile item, the standing torch. Again, as you get further in the game, you can make different looking torches, you know, fancier looking. Some might give off more light. There are also torches you can hang from the ceilings or attach to buildings to build really whatever you want, but that's all up to you and what you decide you want in the end. Alright, we need a little bit more stone. I think it was 540 for the forge. The forge is going to allow us to, one, make bricks from stone, as well as iron. Whoops, I was trying to punch that. Iron from iron ore, iron bars. Now, one nice thing with the Conan game is the values don't go up if you have friends, in terms of building and such. So if you find a couple guys, or girls, or peoples, who want to play, or are interested in playing the game, and you can get them to play with you, it is very useful for building large structures. The reason I say that is just the amount of time it's going to take you to mine and ore and get all that stuff. You'll be doing that for quite a while. Now, I do have experience with the console version as well as the PC version. The console version works a little bit differently with servers than the PC version does. Whereas on the PC, you can basically be anywhere you want, and you're like your own little instance essentially on the server. The console game doesn't follow the same path. So if you play co-op with a friend, you basically are the leader, and the co-op person ends up following you around. They can teleport to you, or they will teleport to you when they get too far away, or when they die. So, being the host on the console is a little bit different than on PC. You're really not truly separate on the consoles. Alright, that should be enough stone for us to build our forge now, so let's go ahead and pick up what I threw in the box and see what we can do. Forge, 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 craft. Oh no, I'm over encumbered. I know. So in here we can put all kinds of stuff. You do need fuel, so you will need wood or coal or something of some sort. So I don't want to waste the branches. Throw some wood in there. Other things that you may not know about, if you hold down the shift button when you click and drag something into an area, it automatically splits it into half. So that's what I just did. I split the wood into half. So I can start making some bricks. As you see right down there, we're making bricks. Bricks are expensive though. It's 10 stone to make one brick. So whatever the recipe you need bricks for, it's going to take a while. So keep that in mind. So we need bricks for... Lesser Wheel of Pain? No. Blacksmith bench, that's what I was thinking of. So essentially it needs 50 bricks, so we need 500 stone to be converted to make 50 bricks for the blacksmith bench. But we're not going to be there anytime soon anyway, because we also need iron bars, 75 of them. And around here there's only one place that really has iron, and you don't get very much. I will show you where that is though, provided they haven't changed the location of it. Gonna get some leather. We'll leave the tar there for now, and I think we can build a truncheon now. So a truncheon is the item that's used for stunning and getting thralls. You need that with the fiber bindings for it all to work. But we need some iron in order to build the Lesser Wheel of Pain, which is used to turn thralls to become your slaves, essentially. So we're kind of evil. We're making slaves here. Okay. Oh, we should repair some stuff too. Oh, not enough stone. Well, let me go show you where this other stuff is. We'll go do that. Let me just drop off the wood real quick. Let's throw it in the armorer's bench. Oh, while you're swimming, you cannot use weapons. So if you're ever in deep water, just be careful. No weapons allowed. Oh, and there's also a breath bar. Oh, look, she did. Hello? Oh, you're a tanner. I didn't explain all that earlier either. I'm sorry. It was a long day at work. I'm not thinking straight. For the thralls, which we are going to be unlocking soon, they do have different names over them, which I explained somewhat. They have a job and a race. Race isn't generally that important, because they can be from anywhere as long as the job is what you want. But what you want to know is what they are. So in this case, I just go to Tanner. A Tanner is put on the Tanner's bench that I've made, where I turned the hide into leather. So you can put them there, and they actually become workers for you once you convert them to your side. And they will speed up the process of things you do on that workbench. Later on in the game, you actually get higher level ones. they can actually give you recipes that you won't find anywhere else. So if you capture, and that one is actually where the race comes into play. So if they're like the Dafari armor smith level 2, for example, or level 3, then you might be able to get some higher level or some new equipment based on the Dafari tribe for that particular workbench. So in that case, if it was an Dafari armor level 3, I'd probably get some Dafari armor that I could use right out the bat and actually build it without having to go out and find the recipe for it. And there are many static locations for things in this game. There are recipes all over the world that you can find. You just have to know where they are. And there are a couple that are actually not too far away. And I'm not quite ready to go there just because there are a lot of oops, wrong button. There are a lot of enemies there, so I probably wouldn't survive quite yet. Need to get some more armor and some other things first, but it's where the first dungeon is, too. It's the other body. Oh no, did it get washed away in the water? So I'm not seeing it. I take it back, you can fight in the water. I was incorrect. Oh, I can use the axe in the water. And the mining. Okay, I can't equip swords. That might be what I was thinking. I don't know where the other body went. Weird. Oh well. Back to the main object at hand. So, if you come over here behind this little camp in the corner, you see this weird blackish rock back here? This is iron ore. This is pretty much the only iron stone you can find in this area. You could wait for it to respawn. Like I said, it could take a couple days. But it will respawn eventually. And I believe it's 2 ore, I want to say, per iron bar. So if you want to make iron bars from this, you'd have to wait a lot of days in order to get that to work. So not really efficient. There's a much better way to get ore, although it does require a bit of a trip, which maybe we'll go ahead and do. Let's see, what time of day is it? It's probably have to wait. I don't think we'd make it today. Crap, I wasn't trying to run into that warrior again. I'm hoping I can get him in the crocodile fight. That'd be cool. Get him, Croc, get him. Yeah, get him, Croc, get him. Yeah, it's kind of fun. You can make other minions fight each other and wait for the one of them to die if you wanted to, so you know, steal the kills or wait for them to get weaker so they're easier to kill. Ah! Which apparently isn't working here very well. There we go. Cool, he's got some gloves this time. Okay. go and make some cooked food here. There we go, now we're full. We're good. Alright. Let's drop off stuff we don't need. See if it is 2. I can't remember. Yeah, it is 2. We're making 7 bars total because we have 15, so we'll have 1 left over. But we're still a long way from getting anything made, though, right? Still gonna be a while. Alright. I was gonna get darker sooner. Looks like I was wrong about that. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. Let's build a few torches. So we need some wood and guess we're gonna need some plant fiber. Oh, another special guy. I don't remember seeing one guy here normally. Okay, we got through them. Yeah, this is much easier than playing on the higher difficulties that I'm used to playing on. Because I was playing very poorly there, and they probably would have killed me very easily. So that guy was a special blacksmith. If I had the Wheel of Pain already ready and other stuff available, I would have actually captured him and thrown him on the wheel to use as a blacksmith later for the thrall. But of course, we're going to need to go get some guys before we do that. So let's go ahead and start that process, maybe. Why not, right? How are we doing on time here? We're at an hour and 47 minutes. Yeah, we'll keep going a little bit longer. I'd like to at least show everybody where in the beginning of the game you can go get a good amount of iron. There's two things you can do here that I would recommend. One would be build a house. If you build a house over here, you can actually throw down a bed. Ugh, almost full though. And maybe we'll head back instead. Well, we blew him up. Just got an iron bar from him. But I did not realize how full I was. I didn't notice it was in the red, so. And it's not in my best interest to go exploring all the way on the other side of the map, because I won't be able to carry anything or really do anything, so I decided against that. We're going to head back real quick, drop off everything. It's probably going to be starting to get dark soon, so we might just have to wait out the rest of the night. Crap. I just picked up everything in the box. Okay. So now you'll see the benefit from the torches, right? they at least help glow out of some of the areas around you, so you can see and farm, or you can do whatever you want. But again, you'll probably need a bunch of them. At least if you want to make your place more visible. Like later, I would generally say build roofs like 2 squares above you instead of right, like I did, right at head height. Because then you can hang torches from above, so you don't have to worry about things being on the ground in the way. Which we're probably not going to get to in this tutorial today. The next step I want to really do is show everybody where the iron is that I normally go to collect. And it is a bit of a trek. That's why I would suggest the bed versus bedroll idea. Now we have 2 camps, you can just die and go back to the other one. Now, of course, if you're playing in normal mode where you drop everything when you die, that's really not going to work for you. But at least in this mode, it's good to do it just to get some practice with it. You know? And then once you get practice with it, you know, you'll have an easier time going out and gathering the stuff when it matters. So let's go and drop the wood and stone for now. I can make another torch now, I think, too. Yeah, we'll craft the last 2. Alright, while this is going on, I should go back in here and I'll show you the workbench. Not workbench, sorry, map. Map! So, as you play the game, you'll unlock a bunch of areas on the map. You'll see the Broken Highway is where we started. You can't see because I'm standing on, but there's a bedroll item here where I am, and then also the Shattered Bridge is this black bridge that I normally set up a camp to for newbies. Then you have this whole set of maps. Now you have all the way out here to the coast. There's some islands out here you can access, along with oops, I wasn't trying to add the marker, hold on, sorry. There are some dungeons over here and some other stuff you can access. There's also some dungeons here and some higher level monsters, so be careful. This red area, it has some real tough stuff in it, so not going to be easy if you go there early on in the game. If anything, I normally go over here to the east side, because that has, I forget what they kind of look like giant apes you're fighting, and they give you higher leather, so you can build better armors. So I tend to head east. So for most tutorials, I would say probably head east. It's a good idea. We're also going to be going to this area over here. Sorry, over here. I think it's over here. Might be down here. I don't know. It's over on this side. We'll get there, and I'll show it to you. But that's where you can find a lot of iron early game. So I normally like setting up a camp here and then a camp over there. But like I said, it is a bit of a trek. So other than that, you have areas up here. You have the volcano, which is kind of like end game. You have the frost area, which is also high level. And these areas from this area kind of up are raised areas. Not over on this side, but down here. So if you go anywhere up kind of past this little break area right here, this is higher ground where you won't be affected by sandstorms. So if you're having a lot of trouble surviving in sandstorms, up here's a good area. I actually like to go up here and make a campsite. I want to say right around here, maybe. Actually, on this platform right here, I like to build a castle up here on these rocks. You do get attacked by a few guys occasionally, but it's not that big a deal. But it has tons of iron here as well. So worst case, if you don't like making the trek over to the east, and you want to start doing build a better campsite where you can have a little more permanency to your camp, because you can build a really big structure here, which I've done. Head over here, and up to the north, it's... I think they were slightly wrong. It's actually over here. So I like to build right around here. And what you can also do in this game is you can build elevators. So what I actually do is I'll build a structure up here, and then I build an elevator that leads downward. You can't see, it's not three-dimensional. But I actually build an elevator right here, so I can go up and down between the levels. And then it makes it pretty cool for having a zone up here. You also have a lake nearby, so getting water is fairly easy. And there are a few enemies up here, but they don't spawn all the time. And once you get used to fighting them, they're really, really easy to kill. And there's so much iron, though. This place is just so nice for iron, if that's a concern. So you can try to beeline all the way up there. The problem is this area where we're starting, kind of this whole area of these rivers, up to about here, are pretty much the same type of early on enemies, so they're easy to fight. When you start getting up here, you get into harder enemies and camps and bigger creatures like elephants and rhinos. They're probably going to be very difficult to fight at the current early game, I would say, because you don't have the nicer weapons yet. You don't have the armors. So making it up here would be the only concern. However, if you can make the trek all the way up here, it could be worthwhile. Hopefully we'll get to that in one of the streams. Probably not today. I want to head to kind of to the east to show off that area, because that's where I like to go first if I'm playing with people. That way it gives them enemies that aren't too bad. You will get a little bit higher end enemies over here as we get a little further east. But at least right where we stay kind of by the river, it's all the same. So it's nice for starting out to be a little more simple. Oh, and it looks like it's bright enough to where we can go do that now. So let us start making the trek over to that side. And the other thing I'm planning on doing is I'm going to put down some torches every now and then. Just so if we have to run back to here, the torches will kind of help guide the way. Okay. I don't need to do it personally because I played this a lot. So I'm not going to be too worried about it right now. Oh, you also can't build structures near certain other structures. So that could be a potential problem. I did not realize how late it was. I'm actually going to have to cut the stream here a little shorter than I anticipated. So let me do this. Let me get a little bit further down here. Get past some of these enemies. You're going to be chased. What I would recommend is just keep going past them a little bit. They'll leave you alone. Now see that one? That guy has kind of red on him. He is the one who will attack you if you get too close to him. He's also a little bit bigger. I think he's like the male of the species. I'm gonna do a torch there. That'd be a good spot, I think. A bunny rabbit! You can kill little critters if you see them. The bunnies, though, can be really hard to find. Or not find, but reach. So you can always use another item, like a bow, to get to them. The other thing I didn't really show off in the game is you do have the option for climbing. So I'll show that off briefly here. Now, that is all based on your stamina. So if you don't have a big enough stamina pool, you're not going to climb and get very far. So keep that in mind when you play. Don't try to be overly ambitious to climb. Like, this is probably the highest I could climb without dying. So I would not recommend going too much further than this. But, unfortunately, I have to go and pick up my other co-host from school. She's in a play this week, so... This weekend, actually. So she's practicing till 10, and I'm going to have to leave now to go pick her up because we're running at 9:50 p.m. Eastern Time. So, I'm going to end here tonight. I went up high just so I'd be a little bit safer for when I log back in. But anyway, thanks for everybody who watched our first tutorial stream. I am going to have to do at least one more because I do want to show off a little bit more stuff that you can do with the thralls, but I need iron in order to do that, so we're going to go over to the iron place I normally do get stuff for thralls. and then we'll probably die on purpose, come back here, show how the thralls system works a little bit. If I can, I'll get to the first dungeon as well, and then maybe after that I could run up north and show everybody where I'd like to set up a city for that I think is a good spot for a first playthrough. So anyway, I think we're done for the night. Thanks everybody for watching. This is Bobby with Day After Day Gaming. Keep on gaming day after day, and thanks everybody for watching the first Dad gaming tutorial. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you soon.